lovelies, Blessed Divine Beth here, Psychic Medium, and today we are back with another pick a card reading. Today we're going to be looking at who you were in a past life, exactly what your purpose was, how it has resulted in your present life and circumstances, and the karmic lessons you need to undergo and what you had to undergo in that past life, what your career might have been, etc., how relationships were, any of those circumstances that has led to your present life. So what we're going to do, as we do per all of my pick a card readings, is we're going to do the 3-step kind of meditation so that you can pick one of these numbers, 1 to 6, on what actually has the appropriate messages for you about this past life. So in the back of your mind, you want to ask for your spirit guides to come forth with a number or multiple of them. This way your own intuition is picking the cards. But do keep in mind that it is a general reading and not 100% of the message is going to be what your past life was, but there is a message in there for you that's kind of how it played out and how it has led to this present life. So if you do not need to meditate, you can go straight on to the comment section for timestamps of all the groups. I have listed them in the description box also. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your reading. Otherwise, you could pick a card by the stone in front of them. You may be really called to one of them. If not, let's just do the count. So we're going to breathe in for 3 seconds. Hold for 3. Release for 3. Again, so in for 3. Hold for 3. Release for 3. Again, in for 3. Hold for 3. And release for 3. Awesome. So hopefully one of these cards or multiple of them have really called to you. That means your spirit guides have done the correct thing in providing you with one of these cards that holds the appropriate message. So let's get started. I hope you do enjoy your reading, and if you would like more videos like this, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that you can be notified of when I do post another one of these videos. Thank you. Okay, hello everyone who resonated with group number 1 or had chosen this beautiful red jasper stone. So let's have a look at exactly why this number had called to you, what exactly you need to know about your past life, why you're here now, exactly the life purpose that you hold currently and in your past life. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll also be providing advice throughout on what you need to do for your next incarnation. Okay, so we've got Zeus, the father. I'll just move our beautiful red jasper up here. We've got Zeus, the father. Be proud. Open up. Aradia. I've also pulled 2 Zodiac cards, so we know kind of a bit more about the personality and exactly what star sign you could have been in your past life. So as we can see, you could have been a Leo or a Virgo in this past life. So I'm going to sit these up here. Okay. Sorry. Also got Page of Cups, 3 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Path, Exploration. So what we can see about exactly who you were in your past life is, you had this childlike outlook. Regardless of age, you remained very young in your heart, very, very playful and loud. I definitely believe that you were very easygoing and even interested in creative arts. So this occupation for you could have been an artist, a poet, a singer, or an actor. So you were definitely lost in your own world. I mean, you could have sat down, read a book for hours, or played games for hours. Definitely in this own world of yours, and kind of dreamed of a faraway place. And you always did what was necessary to get to this faraway place. So you had this ambition. You were very determined to have this accreditation towards your name. Be very luxurious almost. I definitely also see some inner strength here. Loved to be known as responsible, loved to always be held accountable. People always trusted in you. And I feel like you almost had this routine every day, and you were very disciplined, perhaps as a child, always stuck to this routine that really worked well for you in that life. As a Leo here and with the father, I can definitely see someone who, likes to have some competition, and I feel like you're very self-confident. You never really had any, deep insecurities. I feel like your life purpose in this life was to really help people, because I feel like you were so naturally forgiving. You realized that life comes in cycles, and you had this understanding of life. I definitely feel like you spent many incarnations on other planetary systems, which also kind of leads me to believe you had this interest in culture or the news. You like to watch the news a lot, or had this very big interest in history. And I also feel like if you hadn't published your own biography in this life, that you really liked reading them, loved reading people's experiences, always wanted to be like them, kind of work your way up to this event that you're really daydreaming about. You also had a very great sense of humour. People loved to be around you. Very well-spirited, could always make people laugh. But we're coming back to this culture again. I really feel like you investigated other cultures, or you really liked the news, and you liked hearing about it. Probably changed your beliefs often in this life. But we're going back to actor a lot, because now I'm starting to see that you really loved doing yourself up or dressing in different outfits, loved fashion. And I definitely feel like you were really self-reflective, because you understood karmic laws. So yeah, you're really self-reflective. I also feel with the Page of Cups, you really loved children and animals, and also with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like you might have gambled a lot, because you were really, really lucky and would always win. So I definitely feel this gambling here, always having luck, not many bad things happen to you. We're really lucky to have this past life. I definitely feel, yes, you're here to help people or to teach. And as we talked about the children and animals, how you really, really had this care for them, I feel like you were kind of there. Perhaps you might have been a vet in the sense that we're not talking about creative arts. Could have been a vet, taught people how to be sensitive, sensitivity, how to care for animals, or childcare, really taught people how to care for children. That was your passion. But yeah, you really taught patience and helped those in whatever industry it was realize that hard work shows results in time. So you were really dedicated, always working your way up, told others, of your own story, your own biography almost, and they were really inspired, and you really had this role of teaching others, and being this role model in their lives almost. But yeah, so you understood that life comes in cycles, that you need to take ownership of your own life, and you must really stand your own place in the world. You were never really too fussed about the past and could always move on from it. This might be the opposite now. But in your past life, you really never cared about the past, could always move on, and you built confidence of having, accomplished these dreams of yours, and really being wise. But yeah, I feel like you're also really gifted with intuition as a result. So you yourself, you're really gifted in your present life with intuition to help you lead your way. So if you kind of have predicted things to happen, you should know that this is actually, you have a really great intuition. So in this life now, you have the intuition to help you lead your way. And I feel like now you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve to showcase this strength and sensitivity you've gained through past incarnations. So you will always keep kind of pushing on. I feel like regardless of whether or not you're having it really hard in life at the moment, you are meant to keep, moving on. You won't, this is probably going to get really dark, but you won't, take your own life. You're meant to be here. You're meant to stay really strong for your next incarnation. And I feel like, in this past life you could have been religious, or what's really speaking to me is like being Catholic, and perhaps this didn't really fit with you in this past life, and you really questioned your own beliefs and let go of beliefs that didn't serve you, adopted new beliefs to kind of open your own mind and broaden your horizons. And this is kind of what you can do if you're questioning your own beliefs at the moment. May not be religious, but it's really asking you to do that, question your own beliefs. And I feel like you're really proud of what you accomplished in your life. You didn't pass, with any regrets or grief you did not fully get over. I feel like you were very proud of what you accomplished, moved through difficult situations, and really had faith on whatever belief system it was. And now for your current life, the advice that you can take forward is also that, I feel like you've encountered some heartbreak or rejection, and I feel like this is a karmic lesson they had to encounter because, you can't have it too great throughout all your incarnations, right? And I feel like you didn't really have to experience that in the past life, so now you have to experience it, unfortunately, as a karmic lesson. And as a result, allow yourself to open up fully, move on from any hurt you experienced, and fill it with the ability to feel love and be loved and be appreciative, and recognize that you are meant to keep going and be strong, because that's just what your soul is. You're very determined, very, very emotional. You did tend to hide it a lot in your past life, but now you wear it on your sleeve, and that shows that's a very strong thing to do. It's a very more developed. I feel like this past life was really great, but now it's even greater because you're showing your emotional side, and that was what was needed in this present life. So you may actually be a Leo or a Virgo, or you can know now that you were one of those in your past life for sure. So we've got the Leo, a fire sign, very active. We can also resonate this with the wands here. And as for a Virgo, it's actually pentacles, which we can't see any pentacles here, but it's an earth sign, very, very practical in that sense. And we can usually associate it with the Hermit, but here we're not seeing anyone who is isolated. I feel like this person is very fun and sociable. They're very fun and sociable in your past life, and really, really childlike. So you got along with people very, very well. And yeah, this belief system that we speak of really helped you in that sense to have faith, and for you to question your beliefs now is something that you should probably do. Really look at them and release anything that no longer serves you. So I hope you have enjoyed that reading, group number 1. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Goodbye. Hello everybody who resonated with group number 2 or was very intrigued by this metallic peacock ore. So, excuse the pen on my hand. We're going to have a look at what your past life was like, perhaps the occupation you held, what exactly you needed to encounter and bring to your present life, any circumstances, the relationships you dealt with, any information you need to know, and what exactly you can take from it, what you can do next, exactly who you were. So, let's have a look. We're going to just keep this peacock ore up here. So, let's start with our tarot cards. We've got the High Priestess. Oops, I'll probably put it up there. Oops. 9 of Pentacles. 8 of Swords. Luna. Dedicated effort. Flexibility. And so I have taken 2 Zodiac cards to give insight on the star sign of who you were in your past life. So you may be one of these star signs and have continued on, or you are none of these and should know that you were. So you were either an Aries or a Cancer in this past life. We're just going to keep these up here. We've got 2 more cards. We've got Rhea, protection. Okay, and intuitive nudges. Interesting. Got 2 intuition cards here. So, what I can see for this past life of yours is that, you were kind of lost in your own head and you fixated on unimportant things and issues. So, I feel like you were very shy, never liked being in the spotlight at all, could have had anxiety. I really feel like you did come from a bad situation or had encountered something bad throughout this lifetime. And I'm getting kind of the feeling that it could have been, you were publicly disgraced in some way, or you kind of resorted to drug use, or just had this unhealthy rumination. But I do feel like you were wise and smart and really granted with intuition here to help you guide through these emotions that you seem to have been battling. You were very, very strong, I can see. And I feel like as an occupation in your past life, you were either a business owner or worked in this women's leadership role. But I feel like this bad situation didn't necessarily mean you didn't have material items. I feel like you did live in a luxury, and even if it wasn't this drug use, I do feel like a caring profession is what you had. So I feel like you really worked in psychology. I'm really getting that a lot with the intuition here and the dedicated effort. I really feel like you put yourself in to psychology or teaching because you're in a position to kind of help others, help them grow. And because you're so understanding and caring, this really, really helped you. You could have even just been psychic and relayed messages to other people, but I do believe you kept strong, always believed you'd get somewhere, and you did. And I feel like you did have children and that you were a great mother or father, you provided well for the family. I do feel like this is kind of more of a single mother energy. You could have been a female single mom, went through some hard times at first. Finances were never always up. They were kind of, rocky, and I do feel like you looked after your physical body well, always managed to juggle tasks and, really asked for help from others and really loved your music and your dance. I do feel like with this protection, the Rhea goddess, she actually was pregnant with the god Zeus, and actually fed her husband Cronus a stone instead of feeding Zeus, because Cronus feared that Zeus would overtake him, his own son would overtake him. So Rhea protected her son and actually fed the husband just a stone, hid Zeus away, and raised him safely. So we see that, you know, you could have been really protective of your loved ones in that same sense. And as for how this has crossed over into this present life of yours, is that, you know, you've shown that you have what it takes, and I feel like you are a very dedicated person yourself. But I'm getting the vibe here with dedicated effort as my advice card mainly, that you should learn about the people you have relations with currently, and because I feel like in this past life you didn't really put yourself out there, have many friends, have a huge support system because you're always juggling tasks, perhaps as a single mom. And I feel like you should, you know, really put yourself out there and understand your own beliefs. And I feel like the more you understand these people that you hang out with, the more you'll understand the motives behind their actions, and, you know, you will better communicate with them, have this support system. As for life purposes and exactly why you had to encounter it this way, I feel like it was to build your own self-worth up, so you could currently still be doing that, trying to acknowledge your own self-worth, but also acknowledge your role in bad situations, so not always think negatively, and really try your best to understand what you have done wrong in situations, not blame it on others. I feel like you're getting really well at that, and advancing from this past life, but also, you know, advancing your intuition and your psychic abilities. If you haven't already been doing that, I definitely feel like you should, because I feel like you're going to carry over this intuition. It might not have been used as well in your past life, but you can definitely start working on that now. So it's best you know this. You could do what I do, buy a tarot deck, start off with, realize that you have really great intuition and you're getting all your readings correct, and that could be another interest for you, because in this past life you didn't really have too many interests, and yeah, I definitely feel like you are kind of letting life run its course, and so you're really being asked to focus on dedication, really figure out what you want to achieve, and believe that you can do it regardless of this bad situation that you may be in currently. If not, stay dedicated. If you are blessed with luxury in your present life, don't let that blind you, in the sense that you don't have to work hard for what you want, because it could end up badly. So I hope you have enjoyed your reading group number 2. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this one. Blessed be! Hello everyone who resonated with our huge chunky smoky quartz here, or just the number 3. So we're going to dive straight in and have a look at what your past life was like, who exactly you were, karmic lessons you need to undergo currently and did in your past life, how it brought you here, etc. So I'm just going to put our stone up the top here. So we have got Knight of Swords, the World, and 5 of Cups, Meditation, 5 of Hearts, Sorrow, and I've also pulled 2 Zodiac cards, so these may be your current star sign, or you should just know that this was exactly kind of what your personality was like, because you were a Sagittarius or Scorpio in your past life, if you're not already, you know, one of those in your present life. So we're just going to actually just keep these over here. So Sagittarius or Scorpio in your past life, okay? We've also got Seek. You are not alone. And Work, okay? Hephaestus, Work. So, I should probably straighten these up. What I can see for your past life is that you could have been an impatient bugger, okay? You could have been really immature, or just really loved negotiating. And yeah, I feel like you could spend hours just strategizing, but unfortunately, not being able to see, you know, this strategy you're trying to strategize from different kinds of angles. So what this kind of means, or what I'm kind of trying to, you know, put together from this, is that you in this past life may have had learning difficulties or some deformity. Why I say this is because Knight of Swords is all about learning difficulties or speech impediment, and Hephaestus actually was born with a deformity. Okay, he was born crippled. Sorry. But yeah, I feel like this past life wasn't too great. You could have been a sociopath, or, you know, just really, really hard to please. I feel like you were kind of like this because you encountered a difficult breakup or divorce in this life that you're here to find in this world. So they were your soulmate. Things didn't end too greatly, but this person's actually still your soulmate in your present life, so you're here to find them in this world. Could have already found them, reincarnated also, but I feel like you've won an award in this past life, perhaps for recognition of some sort. You definitely did work, okay, either if it was just to the best of what you could do, or really hard. I feel like you could have, you know, I feel like you could have been in the Defense Force, lost a limb, or because you could have been a soldier of some sort. That's what I'm kind of getting from this, you know, deformity or crippled, or like learning difficulty. But I also feel like you could have just worked in a government position, and witnessed either horrible things. This could be what the grief was from the Defense Force, or in a government position, perhaps in the police, something like that. But I also feel like because of it, you kind of received funds from the rest of the world. So I feel like you could have been in a position to not work anymore. People supported you, etc. Could have even written a book about it. I feel kind of had some recognition in that sense. Because we talked about how Hephaestus was crippled, also what we can see through him is, you know, this sweet and gentle natured person. So I feel like that was definitely you in that past life. I feel like you did lose faith, questioned God, weren't religious, and kind of thought of religion as kind of this mystery. What happens after you die? They had no interest kind of in that. And I feel like before you passed, that you really didn't recover from this past hurt, kind of still stuck with you. And, you know, I feel like you've tried to meditate in this life, but we're kind of always distracted by this inner voice that always tried to cause a problem. So I feel like maybe you had developed some kind of personality disorder, psychosis, or something like that. You know, always distracted by some inner voice, always tried to start you know, problems. Could have been schizophrenic, but I definitely feel like you never really relaxed. You were in grief, constantly, not in a positive mindset at all, unfortunately. As for advice for your present life, I cannot stress to you enough that in this life you cannot have any relationship be your everything, be your priority, okay? Make room for your own self. Be self-reliant, in that way that your soul can move on and not keep this grief from this past life moving throughout. So you may find that you're very dependent in this life, which is a result of what we've encountered here. But I definitely feel like you should give yourself your own time, pamper yourself, and also look for assistance. I feel like in this past life you never looked for help for this grief. You were kind of ashamed and you kind of hid it. You feel like you should in a sense be happy or have moved on already. So you might have felt like it was too late to kind of grab support. And I really feel like if you are in this same position, not in a positive mindset, I feel like you should definitely reach out for your support options and look for assistance. If a current relationship is bad, look for assistance on how to kind of handle it and cope with it. Perhaps a relationship counselor. And I cannot stress enough, take time for yourself. Try not to always be with a partner. Try and be with either friends or even just walk. Take a nice walk outside and all that. So thank you, group number 3. I hope you have enjoyed your reading. If so, please do give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this one. Alright, blessed be. Hello everyone who had resonated with group number 4, or just this beautiful blue aragonite stone we have here. How gorgeous is it? We're going to just keep it up here for now, out the way. So we're going to see exactly why you had chosen or resonated with group number 4. What it has to say for who you were in a past life, why exactly you were there, what your purpose was, how it has impacted and carried on throughout into your present life. So we're going to see perhaps a occupation in your past life that you worked as, why exactly you were there. You may resonate or you may not. Then again, we are talking about a past incarnation that you had, so you may not resonate fully, but there may be some aspects that are still carried on. So we've got 4 of Wands, Queen of Swords, 10 of Wands, Queen of Stars, Illuminator, Intention, Embrace. We've also got 2 zodiac signs here. So in your past life, you could have been a Gemini or a Libra. You may still be one of those in this current life. If not, you should just know that you were a Libra or a Gemini in your past life. So that's pretty cool to know. We're just going to keep that over there. Also the card Relationships and Hecate Crossroads. Okay, so what I'm gathering here about your past life was that you were very mature, intelligent and independent. You didn't rely on anybody else. You were very classy, you tolerated no nonsense. You were like the human detector for BS, okay? I definitely feel like you, in this past life, had put people on the spot just to make them feel under scrutiny. And really needed to be in this top end of society, in an organisation to feel comfortable, very educated, very convincing, but also knew that you were very intelligent, okay? And you kind of maybe bragged about it, bragged about results, that kind of thing. And with the 10 of Wands here, we can kind of see this burden. And as a result, kind of was, suffering a punishment. So, full of responsibilities. I feel like you never got any help. And I believe if you just kept going and someone saw everything that you were coping with, that, they would just come and help out. But that didn't necessarily happen. I do feel like you married the wrong person. Okay, we're getting relationships, I'm kind of feeling that. And yeah, but I feel like people really found you attractive, really charismatic. And, you always looked amazing, always smelled great, made sure you put on the best perfume or fragrance. But I really feel like you didn't get along with too many people. People kind of either envied you or felt like you were too bossy, or bitchy, okay? Yeah, I feel like, you know, you could be really romantic, but you did unfortunately perhaps marry the wrong person, or you just weren't able to express how romantic you were, because maybe your partner just wasn't the same, not really affectionate like that, and it's really kind of bothered you and was just also another one of your worries and really frustrations. But I feel like you chose this current physical body you're in to experience what it's like to have a true love, and that is like you. I don't feel like you actually partnered up with your soulmate at all, of course. With the, you know, you didn't marry the right partner, of course, you know, it wouldn't be your soulmate. But I also feel like you didn't really have many friends, yeah, so you are in this physical body to experience friendship and what it's really like to get along with other people, have people like you and contact you. And I feel like, you know, in this past life, you really needed to change your attitude and see the way you thought of others, but unfortunately didn't. I feel like occupation-wise, this kind of puts you in like a management position, or even a professor, lecturer, or a business kind of job, or even real estate, you know, in a sense, you know, deep down, kind of really judging people, or just being really convincing. So my advice for your present life, what you can take out of this past life of yours, is to really be present in your relationships. You know, always actively communicate, actively manifest new relationships, so we can, you know, detach from this not having friends, not having people that like you kind of vibe in your past life. Also express any appreciation you have towards your friends. Maybe do that even now. Express to someone or your partner how much you appreciate them in your life. Express to family members how grateful you are. You could have recently in the past been very, I feel, rude and unkind, they may feel. So definitely express this to others, how appreciative you are. Try and actively make new friends, okay? So if your friends introduce you to others, don't be jealous, you know, that your friend is no longer going to be your only friend, or that your friend is going to ditch you for them. Try and be friends with everyone at once. So that is my advice here for those who chose number 4. If you enjoyed this reading, please do give it a thumbs up so I know to make more of these videos, and subscribe. So thank you. Hello everyone who had resonated with the number 5, or the beautiful rose quartz stone here. So let's get straight into it. We're going to uncover who you were in your past life, what you have carried on into your present life, what you can take away from this, you know, karmic lessons you have encountered, you know, past your occupation in this past life, what it could have been, you know, the sole purpose here. So we have got the 5 of Wands. Sorry if that wasn't focusing. 6 of Pentacles. Oh, sorry. The Devil. Floating Memories. The Shadow, Fear. Confront. And I also pulled 2 Zodiac cards, to really show, And I also did pull 2 Zodiac cards. So in this past life, you could have been a Cancer or Aquarius. If you are not currently one of those, you could have still carried that Zodiac sign over into this present life. But yeah, you should know that in this past life, you were an Aquarius or a Cancer. Or just really any air or water sign, okay? Why isn't my camera focusing? Okay, also got have fun and Goddess Iris, who is showing us harmony here. It's really annoying how they're not really focusing too well. Sorry about that. Okay, so in your past life, what I'm really seeing is that you kind of had problems with authority figures and experts. You really doubted yourself and kind of hid insecurities, and you were projected as someone who was cold. You wanted to be projected that way, who just really didn't feel anything, but that was of course not true. You were definitely fighting insecurities and issues, and just would get exhausted and overwhelmed by even the smallest of challenges. So what I'm also kind of gathering here through the devil, okay, is that perhaps you had a gambling addiction or you had resorted to drug use, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. It could have just been like over obsessing, kind of like materialism, you know, needing to have new gadgets, new everything, wanting to have this luxurious lifestyle, really having this desire for it. Oh, sorry. But yeah, I also feel that for an occupation in this past life, you could have, you know, been self-employed, having this business of your own, or working in business, or just, you know, IT or technology. I really do feel like you really enjoyed yourself ever. We're seeing this by have fun, because I feel like you never really did have too much fun, never really went out. But I do feel like you did care about others more than yourself, very loyal in this past life of yours. Did hold on to some feelings of failure and regret from any kind of situation. I feel like you kind of, in school, you might have not been one of the top, you know, resulted students, not getting A's or B's or anything like that. You kind of held on to these feelings of hopelessness and feeling like a delinquent in some way, and just regret. But yeah, I feel like you had this kind of secret darkness within you that you stored any emotion, or you could have just repressed any sexuality, could have been like interested in the same sex, or, you know, had this destructive relationship in your life. I do feel like you were a very generous person, though perhaps gave too much away, or, you know, I feel like you really needed to be reflective, didn't really self-reflect on your own behaviors. So as a result, my kind of advice for you, as we could see this kind of fear, this regret, my advice for you, as shown by the confront, is that you really need to examine any issues, confront them, don't kind of suppress them and hide emotion and never really deal with anything. I feel like you really should bring it to the surface and examine them, have a look from all sides if you can, and kind of have the courage to explore any misconceptions you have about love. Anything you could have been hurt from in a past life has built these trust issues in your current life, and I feel like you really need to explore them and really get rid of them, because they're pretty nasty. So I really feel like you should release what no longer supports you, whether that is a friend, whether that is a relationship in your current life. I do feel like it would really help you in this incarnation process to really do that. So, thank you, group number 5. I really hope you enjoyed your past life reading. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for new content. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone who resonated with the number 6 or the awesome Dragon's Blood Jasper Stone. So we're going to get right into it and have a look at who you could have been in this past life of yours, where you came from, how it's affected your present situation, any karmic lessons you had to endure, and what you're currently experiencing now and why, and yeah, any, you know, past occupation that you did have in this past life. Perhaps you could resonate with it now. Sorry about the focus. Okay, so let's get started. We've got, oh my goodness, we've got the Lovers card, Three of Cups, the Sun, Challenging Times. We've also got this actual past life card from my Wisdom Oracle deck by Tony Carmine Salerno, which is cool to have, very interesting. I've also pulled 2 Zodiac cards here. So in your past life, you could have been a Leo or Pisces, so awesome fire or water sign. If you're not already one of those, you could have carried this over into your present life, but if not, it's always awesome. It's always really cool to actually find that out, I think. Anyway, so I've also got the Beginning, Initiation, Self-Love, and Athena, Wisdom, which is really cool. This is from my Mythic Oracle deck. So what I'm really seeing about you in this past life is that you're really affectionate and fun. You know, you love to party, and especially if you could be the host of this party or just the center of attention, you really like to have like everyone pretty much drawn to you, have the attention. I do feel like you had a huge group of friends or associates. You're always around people. People could really find you on your own. Very charismatic, and I feel like anyone you're romantically involved with fell in love with you very easy. You're just very attractive. People tend to think about you romantically. But yeah, I feel like you did make choices from the heart, often not too much logically, and really put effort into the way that you looked, cared about your appearance, just always wanting to look bomb. But yeah, you're really, really attractive. People found you as a very good looking person, and that I feel like you kind of always needed to be in a relationship to feel whole, needed to feel love, but I also feel you're kind of youthful and carefree, confident, always pampered yourself, never forgot to leave that out. And I feel like this can also relate to you currently. I feel like you are doing quite well in your current life, may be dependent in relationships, or very carefree, love being around people, love being the center of attention, that kind of thing. I feel like this can relate to you also. But I feel like in a past life you maybe blogged or were in a journal, kind of always explaining how life is, or, you know, writing down any problems and kind of just getting over it, not stressing over them too much. And I feel like sometimes you had to put feelings aside, and this was very difficult for you because you're very emotional, I feel, and you need to just, you didn't really think logically, so you kind of needed to think logically as you got older, and that was very agitating for you, and this was this big change in your life. I definitely feel like you're a very enthusiastic person, no matter what, very positive spirited, and a leader. Of course, as we've seen with the star sign Leo, a leader, and others kind of envied you in that sense. So as an occupation, what I'm getting here is some leadership role, or really working with people, telling stories, or you know, working in a hospital, or even being a chef. But as we can see by this appearance and how much you love to feel confident in your own skin and then look great, I feel like you could have had some involvement in the beauty or fashion industry. But yeah, so my advice for your current situation, based on what we can see here, is definitely, you know, that you need to experience some of the opposite, okay, and experience some hard relationships. So like I said, I feel like your life is going pretty great. If not, you are experiencing some hardships for a reason, or you will in the future. You know, you're going to have to endure some conflict and challenges. You kind of got like the harder kind of end of the stick, if that makes sense. I feel like this great, not too bad life has happened for you quite a while, so now this might be the change of things. It might be that you are actually experiencing some hardship, as a result, you know, this karmic lesson that not everything can always be great. So there we have it, everyone who chose number 6. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and if you did, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this one. Blessed be!